Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am PJ. You know, if the gunfire you hear is probably directed at other human beings, you need to come out of her, my people. If you can hear your neighbors arguing, you need to come out of her, my people. If the local constabulary rule-making body forbids you from having a rooster, you may want to come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people, lest you partake of her sins and receive of her plagues. When I say that, I am talking primarily, but not exclusively, about moving away from the built-up areas. Moving away from population. Getting rural. Even if that is in a rural small town. I know you might still be able to hear your neighbors arguing. From a preparedness perspective, that is one of the most important things you can do. You got to get away from the masses of people. There are two things that are going to get you when this whole house of cards falls down. Two things that you need to make sure you have prepared for. Two biggies. You know what they are? I came up with this about 3 years ago. Number one, starvation. You need to be prepared not to starve to death. And we're talking long term. I talk on Patreon all the time about long term sustainability. I'm not talking only about your 5-gallon buckets of food. Starvation. Number two, people behaving badly. Already, in any given population, a certain percentage of people are bad actors. Given a grid down Tiyawaki WROL situation, a larger percentage of people will become bad actors. It's just logical. The more people, the greater the population density in your area, the greater the chance you're going to run into one of those bad actors, either now or then. So you got to come out of there. You got to come out of her, my people. Perhaps more importantly is coming out of her, my people, mentally. What do you value? What trips your trigger? What makes you happy? What do you get excited about? If it's a new pair of shoes or rims on your truck or any of that shiny, all those shiny, nice things of Babylon. Hey, if that's what trips your trigger, America, enjoy it. But those things aren't important. They are not important. Not in real life, not in the long term. You need to come out to the country where you can pee off your back porch, where you can walk out your door, fire your gun, and not have a SWAT team show up. If you are surrounded by people wearing masks, you need to come out of her, my people. You know, out here in the rural areas, people don't care about that mess. Don't care. Don't want to hear it. When I say this, especially here on YouTube, I get so many people who say, it's easy for you to say, we can't do it. I don't know, there's no way I can't do it. You can do it. Point your feet in that direction and walk, if that's what it takes. There's no jobs in the rural area. That will come as a shock to everybody who lives out here. There's no good jobs in the rural area. That will come as a shock to the brain surgeon and his entire staff that worked on my wife. I mean, come on. If you don't want to come out of her, my people, you have to realize that that's going to have consequences. Choices have consequences. Choose wisely. But if that's what you want. Here's another thing I say, because you may like this. You know you're far enough out, generally speaking, you know you're far enough out when you cannot order a pizza delivered to your place. I could live like that. You probably need to eat less pizza anyway. Ooh. But that's the truth, man. We just drove by, Sister Kate and I, the other day, a place where they had, I'm guessing, but I would say, because they varied in size, 3,000 to 5,000 square foot homes. They were all built to look kind of like manor, Tudor kind of style McMansions, right? I'd say 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. They were all so close together. I mean, I could probably throw a dart in the dart throwing pose from the edge of one house and hit the other one. You know, I'm not talking about throwing a dart like a baseball. I'm talking about and hit it. What are these people thinking? What are they thinking? Whether they admit it or not, could be you. Could be you. Whether they admit it or not, they want people to look at their house and think how nice it is. Ooh, that's the big house. Oh, they have the special double bay window. They want people to see their house. Why on earth, if you had the money to buy, let's just split the difference, a 4,000 square foot home, why on earth would you want to build that right next to 8 other homes, 20 other houses just like that? Well, we like to play bridge in the afternoon and we want to get together. Maybe. These are the people who think very differently from me. I would much rather have a modest home. Sorry, my camera's bouncing around. I'll stop walking. I would much rather have a modest home on a lot of land than this fancy schmancy thing that to pay for it, you're never there. Oh yeah, right? Because you got to pay for it. So you got to go slave, man. You got to be on that wheel, that little hamster wheel all the time. You're sweating the bills. You're in debt over your head, drowning in debt. To have a nice house that you're never in, that you can kind of go, look at our house. We have the extra Windsor edition. Dude, nobody cares. That's not real life. I mean, I guess, yeah, reality is what you make it. I guess for you, it is real. I think, and then I'll get off. I think this world, especially if you're an American, and probably if you're a Westerner, Western European, that includes Oz. Oz already knows. Your world is fixing to change. Primarily not for the better. And then it's going to be too late to do a lot of things and to take a lot of steps and to make a lot of decisions. What's important? All you got to do is look at disasters. You know, a huge wildfire sweeps through a community. Happened in Oregon, a year ago, and it happens elsewhere, but that's the one I tracked. A flood, a landslide, a tornado that just tore up through, the southeast. The survivors, you know what they care about? Their loved ones. You know what they think about their stuff? Yeah, that sucks, it's gone, but at least we're still alive. Well, with what's coming, you're going to want to be alive. And to do that, you're going to need to avoid, to the extent possible, bad people. And you're going to want to produce your own food. Yeah, not just store my Patriot Supply. Well, what do you do when that's gone? You think some magic fairy is going to come down and feed you? I tell people, talk about this on Patreon. No, this is not a Patreon commercial, but I talk to them every day. Uh, the second you crack open your first container of long-term emergency storage food is the second the stopwatch starts to your starvation. You need to get out to a place where you can produce enough food. I'm not talking about 6 tomato plants and a little thing of onions in the backyard. I'm talking produce your own food. And for that, you need to be in a rural area. You really do. I do care about y'all. I think too many of y'all are hanging on to the perfume and the silks and the baubles of Babylon because you like it, because it pleases you. And in a second, people are going to be crying, alas, Babylon. Oh, it has fallen. In a second, in an hour, is her destruction come. I don't want you to be caught up in that mess. Matter of fact, I want you not only to be able to care for yourself and those you love, your circle, I want you to be able to help other people. Come out of her, my people. Maybe I'll see you out there.